Hi, my name is Alex. I know what it feels like to be in your shoes. I've always felt like I really couldn't trust the mechanics due to their scamming reputation, which really led me to not liking them very much. I know what it feels like to go into the mechanic and ask the mechanic for repair, and then be overloaded with additional repairs that may or may not be needed, asking for your money. However, once I did extensive research on fraudulent mechanics and maybe why they perform those behaviors, I began to question myself. I asked myself, are mechanics really the bad guys? And here's why. How often do you think about the influences put on mechanics while they're in the shop? Like, what about the financial influences on mechanics, such as form of payment? Or social influences like their boss or the customers themselves? Based on the research I conducted, I became aware of these influences and really learned how they sometimes can force the mechanic to do the behaviors that we the customers disagree with. For instance, let's think about the financial influences put on mechanics in the shop. According to Tom Dyer, who is a mechanic shop owner and provided insight on the influences mechanics may have in the shop, he said that the flat rate system in which the mechanics are paid with often influences their work quality. The flat rate system is where the mechanic is paid more on the amount of repairs he does in a day rather than the quality of work on a certain repair. Now, with mechanics needing to support their families just like you, and given that that flat rate system doesn't provide enough money per repair for the mechanics and their families, they find themselves needing to take those shortcuts in order to get that high number of repairs and get a sufficient amount of money to help support their families. This shows that mechanics are forced to exploit their customers by receiving an inadequate amount of money per repair to support their families. However, while the flat rate system is a part of the financial influences that force mechanics to take advantage of the customers, their bosses have social influences on the mechanics that additionally pressures them to exploit customers. For example, Philip Reed, who is a service advisor for a dealership, claims that the automotive repair department influences their employees to be dishonest to the customers to gain rewarding profits for the dealership. One method the automotive repair department tells the mechanic employees to perform is upselling customers by suggesting additional repairs that aren't required for the car, according to Philip Reed. This shows how one of the reasons why mechanics exploit their customers is because of the mechanics' bosses influencing them to take advantage of the customers. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's still the mechanic's fault for exploiting the customers because it's their decision. While that is true, think about what happens if the mechanic doesn't earn enough money. First, they could potentially lose their house, along with the ability to support their families. But also, if they don't follow their boss's orders, they could get fired. Now I want you to think about the correlation between the boss and the mechanic. Who's paying the mechanic the flat rate system? Who's telling the mechanic to make more money? You see, if mechanic bosses weren't forcing mechanics to make more money, and if they were paying mechanics per hour rather than the flat rate system, mechanics could focus fixing customers' cars the right way. This shows that it's the bosses that exploit the customers. Having said that, this proves that the mechanics aren't the bad guys. It's actually their bosses. My name's Alex Handley, and thank you for watching.